Hey, hi, hello. Good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to our early edition of Harmony Portal Tarot Live's Woo Woo Wednesday live stream. It's been a very Mercury retrograde. Let's just put that out there. Yes, that's what's been going on. So many crazy things, miscommunications by way of, oh, I sent that email, but the person never got it. And the fact that it is springtime in Montana and we have this going on right now. Yes. Just, I don't know, an hour and a half ago, it was nice and starting to get green out there, and now it's covered in snow. So that's fun for us. On a sad note, that might mean that baseball's canceled tonight. I guess wish us luck that if it's not canceled, it won't be too wet and it won't be too cold, because those are never fun when you're trying to enjoy the baseball game. Hi, Banana S. You missed the live last week, but the topics were spot on. There we go. Yes. I meant to actually label Friday's live stream. I think it was. Yeah, Friday's live stream as something other than just live readings, free one card pull, or free collective reading, to actually let people know kind of what we talked about. And interestingly enough, turn of events, I don't really have anything specific to talk about today. I'm sure we could think of things to talk about. I just wanted to make sure that we get into the reading and all of that, because I have some things I have to do kind of between the end of the live stream and the time that I go pick the kids up. So I figured we'd make it just a little bit more concise today, not so laid back and go with the flow, but we'll still go with the flow, but I just want to make sure for those that did want readings that we, didn't have to put that way off, and make sure we do get to that point. And of course, our free one card poll at the beginning. All right, so let's do some shout outs, see who all is here. Banana Anna S, welcome. Brandy Lynn, she's on her way home. How fun. Oh, yeah, she almost thought it was Friday. Yep, Mercury retrograde vibes. Lavina's here. Hello. Stephanie, hi. Marlene. Got Linda. Welcome, Linda. Two Lindas. We got Linda Bracely. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And Linda H. We've got New Love. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoy them. I enjoy doing them. It's probably the highlight of my week. I mean, yes, my family is fun and the sports are fun, but it's fun to have something that's mine and just so much fun for me. I love it. I feel like I'm talking to people who get it, There's not a lot of that going on in my real world, although I do have some really spiritual real world friends, but they just don't live in town with me. So it's kind of nice to catch up with you guys and just see, some like-mindedness, I guess, or just be able to talk about these really crazy things that are, kind of more normal for us, I'm in Missoula, Montana. So Montana, raised up in here. I love me some mountains and, of course, snow in the springtime, I guess. We're less than 2 weeks away from my 42nd birthday, and we've got snow on the ground, which is not unheard of in April in Montana. So, all right. Trying to think what deck, if I have everything out that I want, as far as what we're going to be going with today. Let me look over here and see if anything looks exciting. Hair is just everywhere today, but let's see if anything catches my eye. I don't know. Nothing's really pulling me except maybe the Star Dragons deck. Let's see. Let's see what we have. Cool. Yeah, let's do it. I guess we're doing the Dragons deck. Star Dragons. Did I say accepting dragons? What does that even mean? Maybe someone's accepting something. Accepting an award. Accepting an apology. Oh, you're in St. Louis, Missouri, born and raised. How cool. Never been to Missouri, but I've heard really cool things about it. Actually, I have a friend around that area that I met in like an online baby group years and years ago when my oldest, who's now 13, when I was pregnant with him. But we've never met in person, but she's really cool. Amber A, welcome. All right, so we've already got 7 people here, which seems like a lot for less than 5 minutes in. So maybe we will just go on and get started. And then anyone joining us in the next 20 minutes, of course, we'll honor their free one card poll. So since we have seven people, let's put a 777 in the chat, or whatever way it is for you. On your screen. I know it can be different depending on if you're on a phone or a PC or a tablet. But yes, let's see what we've got going on for Linda H. Let's start with Linda H. And of course, if it appears that I have skipped you in the lineup, sometimes I see things in a slightly different order in YouTube Studio than you guys see them on your live stream end, I guess. Woo! But yes, Linda H., we're starting with you. We have wisdom with asking questions and the number 4. So you might even be asking questions about the stability and security in your life, or even the lives of those around you. I know that you are kind of like that mother figure, of course, obviously to your own son, but just that almost like caretaker energy to some extended family as well. So this is maybe you just asking questions and really tuning into your inner guidance about those in your life, in your family, and even just your own security and stability, just to see if there's a shift coming or you're looking to do something differently there. All right, Michelle, let's get your 777. Well, it's not a 777. You just put that there. Let's get your card, what Michelle needs to know right now. What does Michelle need to know at this time? We have knowledge. Wow, a lot of knowledge and wisdom coming through out of the gate, but we have the number 1 here. So you have knowledge, either kind of more intuitive knowledge or like logical type knowledge, Michelle, on a new beginning, a new opportunity, some new direction or some new thing. It's a very full energy, but not in that naive kind of way. This feels like maybe an accumulation of knowledge from your past is helping you with this new beginning, this new opportunity. So if that doesn't sound like something that's already going on, it's very near future for you. Some knowledge that you're using from your past to determine a new opportunity. All right, Stephanie. What does Stephanie need to know in alignment with her true spirit? Stephanie. And we have here the number 11 with resources. And I just saw the Queen of Pentacles in my mind's eye. She's like Miss MacGyver, as I like to call her. She takes what she has and she makes the most of it. If she has seeds, she's going to plant them. She's going to water them. She's going to nurture them. And before she knows it, she's going to have this abundant bounty of fruit and vegetables and herbs to use throughout the year. So it's almost like you're taking what you already have, or kind of even paring down the resources. If you're feeling really overwhelmed, Stephanie, with a lot of the things that are going on, maybe clutter or, just analysis paralysis with certain opportunities or things that are going on in your life, paring them down to kind of the primary things can really benefit you. But you already have what you need. A very also magician energy of all the resources that magician needs in the tarot are laid out right there on the table. All the magician has to do, as if it's that easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, is to pick up the tools, start using them, and start creating that magic. So very similar vibe for you. Very cool for Stephanie. All right, Marlene. Woo! Marlene gets 2 cards today. We have freedom with breaking the chains and transformation with defining yourself. Wow. What a powerful combination this is. We have the numbers 24 and the number 3. 2 plus 4 is, of course, 6, which is balance. And then the number 3 is 6 is, 3 is half of 6. So it's like you are making leaps and bounds in something you're working on. And it almost feels to me like this is a continuation of this like unicorn looking dragon's energy here. But with the breaking the chains and freedom, this feels like breaking free from old limiting patterns or beliefs, or like even generational or ancestral things that you're just doing differently with your life and your family than maybe past generations did in your family line. But with this transformation card, this is about defining yourself by breaking free of, the ways you once thought of yourself, Marlene, or those labels you once put on yourself, or those boxes you once, limited yourself to. You're breaking free of something. It feels, I don't know, it feels very cerebral to me. So maybe even just defaulting to thinking this or that about yourself, about others, but specifically about yourself, because this defining yourself card here, this is about how you're defining yourself. So pretty powerful stuff for Marlene. All right. You're so welcome. So welcome. All right. And we just jumped chat. So let me scroll back up. And Banana Anna S is next on the list. What needs to come through in alignment with her true spirit? And Banana Anna S, we have inspiration with the number 3. Very creative vibes coming from this. And I really do feel there might even be 1 or 2 people in your life, be these people you're listening to online via YouTube videos, or friends you're communicating with, or something like that. Or it also could be people in your day-to-day life reality that are inspiring you, or something they said just kind of sticks with you, and over the next days or weeks you're like, I never really thought of it that way, but they're so right. And maybe you're using that kind of epiphany or rumination that you've done about whatever it is, to fuel your creative juices or your creative endeavors. Very cool. All right, new love, let's get you a card in alignment with your true spirit. And we have here the space card with the number 5. There we have it with the number 5. So this is about, the number 5 is about change. It can be about a little bit of conflict, a little bit of chaos, or maybe sometimes a lot of conflict, a lot of chaos. There might have even been for you recently, new love, just you feeling this need to step away from certain people or even things that once resonated that are just kind of or blah, or you're just like totally like, not for me anymore. But there's this element of you kind of distancing yourself or removing yourself from a past situation that you're now ready to take up your own space, where before someone or something was really taking up a lot of space, or using a lot of that creative energy, or even just mental energy in your life. And now that you will have, or recently, or will soon be taking that energy back for yourself, you're going to have a lot more time to devote to the things that you love. And this could even be looking back, or stepping back, I should say, from like online use, social media use. This is something that's very like on the periphery and coming into focus for me myself, is kind of going into the summer months. I'm looking to really step back. It's not going to affect my live streams, but it's just going to affect my personal YouTube usage. And not that I'm really on social media much anymore, unless you do count YouTube. I'm just personally choosing to really step back even more. And I check in maybe once a week on Facebook, if that. Sometimes it's like a month between, 2 months between. But I'm just looking to even take my own thought process back. This could be a very similar thing you're doing, is instead of trying to like go on this downward spiral in your thoughts, like, oh, what was the name of that actor in that one show? And then he was also in this movie. Like, what was his name again? Google, help me out. Instead of going right to Google, maybe you're just setting the phone aside and just either allowing that thought to be able to find it for yourself. Because as they say, it's like smartphones really are making us dumb in so many ways. It's like we're not allowing our own natural thought process to do its thing anymore. We're just relying a lot, not all the time, but sometimes just really heavily relying on the Google machine to give us the answers. So that could be something that you are kind of stepping away or distancing yourself from, new love. All right, let's get into Linda Bracely. Let's get your card in alignment with your true spirit. What do you need to know, my dear? And we have here bliss with cherishing the day. And the number 6, it's a very nurturing, balanced approach. It's not like you are, going full force and, kicking butt and taking names. Although if you are feeling in that kind of energy, absolutely do that. But even when that energy starts to run out, this is about you just, almost romanticizing life, or just enjoying the little things, stopping to smell the roses, not trying to rush through traffic to get to your destination, but just enjoying the fact that, okay, wow, they're putting up a new building over here, or, oh my gosh, I never noticed that really beautiful flowering tree, or, whatever it is. It's like you are just more present, more in the moment. And if this is really difficult for you, this is kind of your call to action to just try to even embrace the bliss of being bored, or allowing yourself to just kind of be bored and just to see where life takes you. All right, Lily, hello and welcome. Let's get Lily a card. You're so welcome, Michelle. All right, Lily's card. In alignment with her true spirit, we have the healing card, restoring hope. I love this. And this could even be involving a relationship that you thought, well, I guess we'll just agree to disagree. There might be someone coming around. Either you're coming around to their way of, life or thinking, or they're coming around to yours. If that is not exactly what's going on here, this could be something that you've warred within your head and your heart. This feels like two separate beings or entities, if for lack of a better word. But if this is not with another person, this is between kind of your head and your heart. But you are restoring your hope in the world itself, because just listen to people talk, or God forbid, turn on the news or something. This life just seems so dire, and just like it's going to take like moving mountains to make any real change go on. But this is such a card of just again renewed hope, restored hope, or just feeling like, yeah, okay, this bad thing happened, or I used to think this way, but now I'm seeing things in a new light. So there is your card, Lily. All right, so let's go to Brianna. Hello, Brianna. Welcome, welcome. All right. And we did have a donation for a one card come in, but I did not see who that was from. It just kind of popped up here. But let's see for Brianna what she needs to know in alignment with her true spirit. And we have here returning, going with the flow. And the number 20, which I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the judgment card. So you might even be returning to past belief systems or even current belief systems, but seeing them in a new way. This is such like a collective theme because that little tidbit of information has come through at least a couple of your one card pulls today for you guys here in my chat. So this is really an interesting way of almost like not quite to the end of the hero's journey, but that point where you return home and you realize not only has, maybe certain things have stayed the same, but certain things have changed. But more importantly, you have changed in very fundamental ways to where you can't keep living your life in the same old way or with the same old masks or same old shoes on. Maybe you're even getting new shoes. I don't know what that's about, but it's like you are, yes, returning to an old version of yourself, but again, in a new shape. You've taken on a new form. But as you realize this, it's like you are going with the flow and more in the flow with where you're now going rather than just staying stuck in old ways, old patterns, old wounds. You're able to move forward. All right, which is beautiful. We love that. We love that for anybody. All right, Amber A. Amber A, let's get Amber a card in alignment with her true spirit. And here it is. Maybe. There it is. All right. We have dominance with the number 2 in believing in yourself. And I see this as like a power play between not you and another person per se, but you and just the way the world is. And that power struggle of, you're not my boss. It's almost like a teenage child rebelling against parents. And that I know that's not the way that this like matrix system is put in, and then we're the teenager as the spirit, and that's like what's coming to my awareness in my mind's eye. But it's almost like you're finding a more responsible and mature approach to the fact that it is what it is. This is what we're currently living in and through and against. But you're taking a more, again, responsible and just mature approach to the way that you show up. And instead of giving your power away, like, well, this matrix system and, that authority and that president and this and that and government, you're bringing it back to you and believing in yourself. And again, taking responsibility and maturity in the way that you are moving in this world, which is very, very powerful. All right. All right, everybody else just joining us, put a 777 in the chat to guarantee a free one card pull. And anybody looking to ask a specific question, the donation link is pinned at the top of the chat and also in the description box below. There's 2 ways to donate. You can send a PayPal, and there's also the SuperChat feature, which is slightly different price because of the different ways that PayPal versus YouTube take their cut of the pie, so to speak. All right. So up next, we have Suncease. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's get a card for Suncease in alignment with their true spirit. And we have here knowledge. This came out earlier. I just heard knowledge is power. And this dragon here has almost this like vase kind of thing going on top of the head. It feels like an ancient artifact. And the fact that it's like on top of the head, this is really telling me for you, Suncease, that like ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge is like being downloaded into you. Not so much just like through your brain, but I see this as like the whole like spinal column in alignment. So it's almost like all the chakras balancing, and we all know how difficult and how hard that is to keep everything in balance, because we were not originally designed to have all these different, as I like to call the chakras, energy hijack points. And just me personally tuning in, I've tuned into over like 100 and plus, maybe even close to 200, maybe more energy hijack points or chakra points in the human energy field. But you are like aligning these energy points and bringing them to one singularity is kind of what this feels like. So I don't know if you've been doing some sort of spiritual work, chakra cleansing, something like this, but you're having some sort of breakthrough where ancient knowledge is just known to you. It's not like you're thinking about it or like you're trying to feel into it. It just like kind of drops into your awareness like a very sturdy knowing, which is really powerful. I think I've said that at the end of everybody's reading. I was like, wow, is this really powerful? But there must be some really powerful energies at play right now. And when that's going on, like the best thing you can do is use them, be in the flow with them, and try to do your next big level up. Even if life's busy. I mean, I get it. Life is busy. Jenna, hi Jenna. Let's get you a card, my dear. In alignment with your true spirit, Jenna. Let's see what you need to know. And we have space here as well at the number 5. So chaos, conflict, there's a bit of a change coming. And even the good changes that we want to make in life can have this almost bittersweet edge to them. I just saw like, and again, this may not be your example specifically, but the example coming to my awareness is about moving. So sometimes we may love the place we're in, but we've outgrown it, or maybe the neighborhood's become a little rowdy for our liking or something like this. And though we love the place, it's time to move. Or maybe we really don't like the place, but we love the neighborhood, but we know it's time to move on. So there's something that you're being called to move on from, be it a neighborhood, be it a relationship, be it a project, be it a job. There's something in your awareness that you need to give yourself the space between you and whatever this is to allow yourself to process now, not so much where you've been, but where you're ready to go. So there's a big level up coming for you, and you're going to need your space from even other people just to, be able to really make your best choice about what your next steps are. All right. Hello, Florence, my dear. Let's get you a card. Card in alignment with Florence's true spirit. What does she need to know? And we have freedom here, number 24, breaking the chains. And to me, it's like this dragon and this god or whatever he is up here in the sky. They're on the move. They're ready to take flight. They're going on a vacation. Freedom is the ultimate freedom would be to be able to travel anywhere at any time at the drop of a hat. Like, ooh, waking up at 3 a.m. and just feeling like, I think I'm going to Venice. I think I'm going to Puerto Rico, just deciding to up and go somewhere. So there might be some sort of freedom you're gaining by a very near future trip that you have planned, or maybe it's just completely spontaneous and someone asks you, hey, you want to go here? Or maybe it's a solo trip, but it feels very freeing with that freedom message. It's very freeing. You're ready for something new and exciting, next new adventure. Oh, you pulled a couple oracle cards this week and they both came up with creativity and inspiration. I love it, Banana Anna S. Woo! Thank you. Cards help validate what I've been working on internally and perspective. I love that, Marlene. That's awesome. New Love says, yes, it was very helpful. Been thinking about doing that. Thank you. Well, there's your validation. You already knew deep down, or maybe more close to the surface possibly, that it was time for that. And just take that as your permission slip that it's okay to step away. The whole world isn't going to fall apart if we don't check our Facebook or our Instagram for a while, And believe me, it was so hard for me because I used to be that guy that was, I won't say I'm like some people on there that would like update every time, oh, we're going here for dinner, checked in at so-and-so. But I mean, I know people like that. I was never like that, so to speak. But when my kids were really young, I would always share like, pictures at least 2, 3, 4 times a week of what the kids were doing and little things we did, just to keep like family and stuff in the loop. And as my kids have grown older, people can't believe like how much my kids have grown because it's been years since I've even posted pictures of my kids. Maybe here or there on Instagram or Facebook, I'll post something, but it's usually like a quick little thing, and it's not even like edited and planned out in an actual photo shoot because I used to be a professional photographer. So if you know how that is, but it's been so good for me to just not participate in life in that way, that, the people that need to see what my kids look like and what they're up to, they're already in my kids' lives. So do I need to let these extended family members know? I don't think so, because my mom does a really good job of doing that herself. So, and I still send my mom and brother and sister and sister-in-law and, my in-laws, like they all get all the pictures like through texts now, or Facebook Messenger I do use to keep up with family. So it's not like I'm missing out in the world. I mean, maybe in some ways I am, but I don't feel like it's a loss. So yeah, I think it's very powerful and important to be able to just step back and, for us to personally feel like we are in the control of the information about our lives to the greater outside world, And it feels really empowering to me personally to be able to not let every stranger on the internet know what I had for dinner, or where I'm going, for spring break or, any of that. But then there are people that love sharing all that, and there's nothing wrong with that either. So, but I think it's important sometimes to have, a bit of space from whatever the status quo is. Oh, you have change. Oh, 777 for Brandy Lynn, and it is raining for a change. Yeah, it stopped snowing. It was really coming down out there when we started, but I don't know if we're having baseball tonight. Even if by chance all that snow, and I'd say there's now, probably 3.5 inches of accumulation out there. I mean, it's not bitterly cold. It's supposed to get to a high of like 45 today. So most likely it will melt by, if the sun does come. I mean, the sky is completely white right now, but that sun's somewhere out there. But even still, if all that snow melts, 3 inches of snow melting in a very short amount of time creates a very wet ground for baseball. So I don't know if we're having baseball tonight. I'm still doing the live stream during the day anyway, though. Maybe I can take an actual hot bath for once. It's been a while. I think it's been since Saturday. And if you guys know me, I love at least 6, sometimes 7 days a week of a hot bath. It's been happening closer to once a week since baseball, soccer, and basketball have started. Baseball for 2 boys, soccer for Wrigley, and then basketball for Boston. I don't know how we're doing it. I don't. Yeah, so many 7s today. Let's get Brandy Lynn's 7. Ooh, it's already out. So something is quickly coming in for you, Brandy Lynn. A big shift, a big change. Resources with the number 2. I just heard share the love. So I don't know if you are sharing something with someone. And what's coming to my awareness is you had shared that kind of write out of the tarot's hero, the Fool's Journey through tarot. You shared it with me that day. There might be someone sharing something with you, or maybe you're just seeing somewhere online this nugget of information that's like, I wouldn't say it's like a huge breakthrough, but it definitely either resonates or validates or just falls in line with like that next logical step in your process. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with your creative process, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's most likely at least adjacent, if not what we're talking about here. There might even be something about the resources in your creative project. In your story world, about the sharing of resources or the way resources are distributed or lack of resources, something about resources coming to the fore for you to ruminate on or maybe write about for sure. Who knows? Yeah, so many 7s today. It's my life path number, so I love to see a good 7 here and there. Oh, and we have 9 people and 11 likes on the video. It's like 911. 911. Yes. Anyone remember that from the 90s, that show Rescue 911 that would come on after, I can't remember if it was on after another show on either NBC, ABC, CBS, one of those like main channels. It might have been on either before or after Cops. Bad boys, what you gonna do? Remember that show? And of course, Unsolved Mysteries. Oh my gosh. Unsolved Mysteries. Robert Stack's voice still gives me the chills. You're so welcome, Amber A. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, you just got this deck. I love this deck. It's so fun. It's just like, it's very simple and to the point, but sometimes that's exactly what I want in a Oracle deck. You know what I mean? Victoria. Oh my goodness. Are you the same Victoria with the human design and friends with Jerry? Because I was thinking about you, if that's you. I was thinking about you a lot the other day. I'm kind of just recently rediscovered human design. Not that I was ever too far down the road initially, but I'm like, got this pull to get back into it. So if that's you, Victoria, hi. It's been a while, and I meant to actually email you the other day to be like, hey, what's up, girl? You want to trade a reading for another human design deep dive? If you're still doing that, and if that's actually you, Victoria. All right, but let's get Victoria Wilson a 777 card. Here we go. And we have here effort, the number 7. Oh, remember what I said? I love to see a good 7 once in a while. And conquering your demons. So you might have recently or very soon overcome a demon. And not like a literal demon, although they're on and popping out there right now. But just your own inner shadow, inner skeletons in the closet, just things about ourselves. And it's not necessarily that the shadow is bad. It's just those kind of unobserved or kind of hidden kind of embarrassing or just shameful sometimes, parts of ourselves that we just kind of want to lock down or push down, suppress, pretend don't exist, all the fun things being human is. But you're overcoming something that has really, the word haunted is coming up for whatever reason. So I'm going to use it. So has haunted you from even from a very long time ago, could even be so far as like a past life. It could be that long. Something that maybe haunted you or just it sounds cryptic, I know, but it's not cryptic. It's something you're overcoming it feels like it's been with you for a long time. This could be trauma, this could be sadness, this could be grief, a loss of some kind, resentments, wounds that you're resolving and sloughing off and ready to face a new day. And it does feel very spiritual. Very very much that you're getting a handle on whatever this trauma wound shadow energy is because you've done that spiritual work, which I'm proud of you. So good job. It's never hard. It's always hard. It's never easy to face those parts of ourselves because we just sometimes, if you're anything like me, we just want to pretend they don't exist, but yet we know they do. And like, well, I'll get to it later. And then later comes and it's not fun, right? But we do what we got to do just to get by sometimes. Oh, you love this deck. I know, it's so fun. Let's see. Jessica Lynn, welcome, my dear. And hello to you. Happy Wednesday. Let's get you a card in alignment with your true spirit, Jessica Lynn. And we have the self. I almost said this self. So it's almost like, ooh, very interesting because instead of the self, that feels like us, right? But we say this self. So it feels like part of us, but sort of also otherly. And it's interesting because the self that a lot of us think we are is actually the ego. So it's almost like you're taming your ego or you're in control of the ego, that more spiritual essence or spirit essence part of you is more in control or kind of taking the lead to guide the ego where it needs to either heal certain aspects or just, again, be in the driver's seat rather than in the passenger or back seat or way back of the bus of allowing the ego to take over. And we've all been there, but you might even be finding in your creativity, the number 12, or even collaboration, the way you show up with other people, especially in a groups of 3 or more is kind of the vibe. It's not so much just a friendship or partnership, but like groups. So these could be work groups, friend groups, network groups, whatever. But you're finding true ways to show up in these, gatherings of 3 or more to really exude your power, but not in an egotistical kind of way. It's a very spirit-led way, Jessica Lynn, that you're showing up in your power. And people are really drawn to that and really respecting you for that. So that's really powerful stuff. As I've said after everybody's reading today. Really transformational stuff coming in hot right now. You're so welcome, everybody. You're so welcome. All right, Fire Spawn. Let's get your card for you. And we have here grief with the number 17 and accepting loss. So this to me does not feel like brand new grief coming in the future. This is very present moment to recent past to maybe very like way past. So if you do have feelings of grief from the past rising up to meet you where you're at right now, again, it's the quickest thing, when we're just in that human aspect or even more ego aspect of ourselves. The first thing we want to do when we start to feel this grief creep up is to be like, ooh, not a good time. Don't want to deal with this. Don't want to do it. But usually when an emotion or, this wash of or wave of grief comes up from our past, when it comes up in, whatever now moment that it comes up in, it's usually because you're ready. On some level, you're ready to let at least a fractal of that go or a portion of that go, if not the whole thing sometimes. Sometimes these big things that, you thought about them for years and then you suppressed them or dumped them down or, you did peel away layers of it here and there and you thought, okay, I thought I dealt with that. And now it's back. What the hell? Sometimes though, we can get rid of something almost by just allowing it to flow and let it go in one fell swoop. And we can feel so much lighter and so much better. I mean, look at all those skulls. I mean, this could be lots of past lives. I mean, look at all those skulls. Like, this feels like an amalgamation of many past life things for you, Fire Spawn, that you're ready to let go. And if there's nothing coming to your awareness about that specifically, you can do something as simple as, light a candle and just say, whatever accumulation of trauma, wounds, regret, sadness, loss, grief, whatever other negative emotion or thing here, enter, light that candle and say, I'm ready to let go of whatever's ready to be let go of. And then just light your candle, watch it for a little while, and just allow those emotions to move through you. If you're feeling like crying, if you're feeling angry, punch a pillow, do things safely, obviously. But allow any emotions that you feel coming up to move. And of course, if you do something like candle or hold a crystal, whatever feels ritualistic to you to make this more important than just, oh, I just felt really sad for no reason. Almost make like a ritual, or I don't know if celebration is the right word for, allowing yourself to process grief or loss, but it's like you're coming to an acceptance. And then when you can do that, it's like you're able to let it go. It doesn't mean you will forget the people involved or the situations involved forever. Again, unless this is past life, this could just be stuff that's really not at your before of awareness. And it feels to me like a mixed bag of this life and past life. And you don't even have to go down those, thought spirals of, every little thing that this caused for you or all the memories about it. You can just allow yourself to feel without going back there, be more the observer of how you're feeling rather than, getting yourself roped back into whatever it was. All right, let's see. Oh, my chat just jumped. Sorry about that. Let me find my spot. Oh, Jenna, yeah, I did your message. Sorry. Unless you posted that before I read your message. Sometimes we get a little backed up when we've got a few people here. Let's see. Yeah, we got the snow now. It won't be long. It'll probably be, oh, it's starting up again. Starting to snow again. It won't be here long because the high today is supposed to be about 46. It'll definitely melt. And then we'll have all that water running down the road. That's always fun. Oh, you do love human design. Oh, cool. Yeah, you have the same name as her. So I'm like, ooh, is this that Victoria Wilson or a different one? John's here. Welcome, John. Welcome. Let's get you a card. All right, John. Here we go. And we have here freedom, breaking the chains, and the number 24. So in a very nurturing and balanced way, you're allowing yourself to free yourself from past wounds, traumas, baggage. Very kind of almost adjacent message to what we just got for Fire Spawn. But this to me feels like more about limiting beliefs or just things that have kind of more built up in this life specifically. Could even be around love. Doing like all the cord pulling and removal and, getting all of that healed from past connections to make you feel more whole and complete on your own. And then to be able to attract, that love in the future or present possibly. But there's you're freeing yourself from the past in some way here, which is really, really cool. Not always easy, but it is a really, I said this word so many times today, powerful. This is a very powerful thing we can do, is to allow ourselves to be free from things that once felt very central to who we even thought ourselves to be, or, certain people in our lives that we thought I'd never be the same without that person in my life. It's this kind of almost acceptance or resonance to, well, that's not me anymore. So I'm ready to move forward. All right. Oh, you rewatched the message? Oh, good. I'm glad you got it. Oh, it has. This is very accurate. Thank you. You're so welcome. This is the Star Dragons Oracle cards. Star Dragons. Amazon. Or I can't remember if this is Hay House, Rockpool, who the publisher is. But a lot of times if you just Google that name, you can find it for sale in lots of different places. Yeah, not sad or grief, but maybe it means I don't have to be sad and stay positive. There you go. Yeah. Been blocking negative thoughts. Okay. Yeah. That totally could be, that past, just stuff from the past. Again, you don't have to even put a label or, I wonder what this could be. Sometimes just getting a message like that is just like, okay, well, I've been blocking these negative thoughts. I'm kind of in the flow with positivity. So I'm not going to let that grief get me down if it does come up. Which is awesome. No, you're not too late. We're about to wrap up though, because I've been going definitely over 20 minutes now. Yeah, donations are still open, Brianna. Absolutely. All right, Jamie, let's get you a card, my dear. Jamie, in alignment with her true spirit. And welcome, by the way. We have tranquility, harmonious in action. Not in action, but in action, as in one word. And the number 15 is, correct me if I'm wrong, the death card. Or is it, no, the devil card. It's the devil card, I think. 13? Okay. And now I gotta look it up. It's the devil card. It's the devil card. I don't need to look it up. It's the devil card. So there might be just this call to kind of step back and just be more tranquil, be more in that feminine receptive energy. Even if life is hard and life is busy and things are going, this kid's screaming and that one's making a mess and I'm really stressed and, all the mom things. But this is about, with that devil energy of that 15 there. Well, that 1 + 5 actually adds up to a 6, which is about balance. It's about nurturing. It's about doing what's best for you and, of course, your family and, the world at large. But this is about allowing yourself time for self-care, time for love, time to just be in nature or just be lost in a good book or, whatever it looks like, whatever tranquility specifically looks like to you, and to not have to feel guilty about it. And especially that mom guilt creeping in that, wow, I took 20 minutes to, hide in this closet and eat a candy bar so the kids wouldn't get it from me or, whatever it is. It's like, we don't have to feel so guilty about just generally taking care of ourselves. And not only that as bare minimum, but actually allowing ourselves to thrive as people without the label of mom, wife, sister, daughter slapped onto it, or whatever other labels that you have or that you identify with, or that you do love having that label with that person or that relationship or that situation. But you also deserve to just be tranquil in your own energy for the sake of being tranquil without having any kind of agenda or feeling guilty about it or anything. All right, I'm dropping cards left and right. All right. Yes, donations are still open. Oh, you're lifing. I get it. Yes, John, you're so welcome. DW, welcome. All right, so DW, let's get your card. And we have here resilience and finding your limits with the number 21. 21 is the world card in tarot. So it's almost like we're getting a 2-card reading today for everybody, because I'm finding the tarot associations on these cards as well. So it's like the world closing that cycle, ending something. Could be bittersweet, but you're finding resilience, maybe even while traveling. If certain things just aren't quite going your way, or there's somewhere you really want to travel, but it's just not lining up, or the prices or the costs are just way too sky high for you to be able to go somewhere, DW, just know that you're going to weather whatever storm you're in with the energy at play. And eventually you're going to be able to move beyond or move past any specific limits that are in your way. But it's for kind of the time being, just finding your limits, well, I can't go on that dream trip right now, but I can go 2 states away to this national park, and that's totally within my budget. So we're going to do that, you and whoever, or if it's just you on your own. So it's almost like you're finding your limit, but that doesn't mean you have to stay stuck within that cage or box or limit forever. It's just kind of knowing where you stand right now and then making the most of what you have right now, so that eventually you can expand your horizons, All right. Anyone else? Last call, 777 in the chat for a card. Joe Beth, let's get your card. Joe Beth. And we have here legacy with persistence. So there's some possible creative project, or could even be your career or sense of purpose that you have in life with that number 8, about taking action. It's about financial gain. Abundance is, associated. There's like magician energy with that 8. Also, the strength card, I do believe, is the number 8 in the tarot. So it's like, and that really is that sense of that strength card is about persistence, being strong, that more inner strength usually than outer strength, but sometimes we need both, right? But it's about keeping at something, keeping at it, chipping away. Very also 8 of Pentacles energy. You're getting lots of cards coming in, Joe Beth. But this really is about sticking to something, even if you have to put it back burner for a while, and then you pick it back up and you, again, chip away, put more effort, put more work into it. Very Saturn vibes, day after day, putting the work. But eventually that persistence will pay off, and you will have something to show even after you leave this incarnation that will be left for the world. Could be some sort of creative project, or like memoir or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something you're leaving, even if it's just in your own family line and your friends. You're going to leave an impact on this world in big ways that maybe you don't even see right now, but eventually the world will see it. All right. Oh, you loves it. All righty then. Let's see. I'm so nauseous. I can tell there's so much emotion in the air. Yeah, it's like a thick soup of emotion out there since that eclipse time. Holy cow. Yes, yes. All right, last call, last call. Did I skip anybody? Did everybody get their message? Anybody that didn't get a card, that didn't put a 777 in the chat, put that 777 and we'll get right on it. Otherwise, I'm going to start getting my list together for the donations. Boom. Okay, we've got 2 donations. Oops, clicked the wrong email. Let me go back. So first donation, 1 card read from Marlene. And also 1 card for Brianna. And we have 4 spots remaining after that. All right, Marlene. Oops. All right, 4. I hope I spelled everything right. There we go. Okay, hopefully. Oh, it put the tags for the little icons. It just typed them out, spelled them out, rather than actually showing the icons. So I will go ahead and remove that because that's annoying. And we're gonna get right into it. Oh, Maya 054. Let's get you a card, and that's it. We're done. We're done with the free 1 cards. Okay. Oh, Robin, you got in right as the buzzer rang, so we'll honor yours as well. All right, Maya first, message in alignment with your true spirit. And we have here time with the number 4. Yeah, IV is 4. Yes. Okay. I had to remind myself there for a second. So it's interesting here too. We almost have this, it feels like some sort of structure that used to be more upright that is now kind of collapsed or leaning to the side. And then we've got this kind of guy and the dragon here just hanging out and looking. So, and I just heard time heals all wounds. So I don't know if there's something you're currently going through that felt like a tower moment or just something really difficult. Could have even been a while ago. It doesn't have to be like yesterday or anything. But you're still maybe even taking that time to reflect on what you've been through in life, or maybe even doing a bit of a mini life review to realize just how far you've come in life. And there might even be something that you keep thinking, well, I'm getting older and, I don't have time for that. Or, the time has passed for me, or all these other people that are my age are doing this, this, and this, and I still have yet to do X, Y, or Z. I just heard time is irrelevant. If there's something you really want to do, who cares if and I don't know how old you are, but just for sake of argument, you are 54 because that's the number you presented here. Just say that, when you do, and I do sense you're younger than that, but just as far as the example goes, by the time you are 54, all these people have this, and this, and have done this, and this. Who's to say at age 54 you can't start a business or move across the state or the country or to a whole other country and just completely start over fresh and have a completely new job, and just who's to say? Nobody except you. That's who. So don't feel like time has gotten away from you, or you've wasted time, or time's going too fast. I mean, yes, these are valid thoughts and opinions, obviously, but I just heard it's never too late unless you decide to give up on something. All right, Robin Stinson, let's get your card, my dear. Tuning in alignment with your true spirit. And we have wisdom with the number 4, asking questions. So the number 4, that very stable, secure, very emperor energy in the tarot. So you're going to be very successful at really using your inner wisdom, using your intuition to come to an agreement or a decision on something. But don't be afraid to ask questions, especially if you are, confused or just completely unsure what direction to go next in life, or maybe you have so many options, you want to start to narrow these things down. Ask questions either to yourself, to others. If you are a generator in human design, if you're a generator in human design, specifically with sacral authority, there's this little trick you can do. You can write down all the questions you may have about whatever, and write them out on each individual pieces of paper or slips of paper, and then give them to someone you trust. Mix them all up so you don't know the order of the questions, and then have that person ask you questions, and you either respond to their question with your first initial instinct of mm-hmm or mm-mm. Mm-mm meaning no, mm-hmm meaning yes. That's like a built-in, for generators in human design, that's a built-in intuitive system. Even if your brain has no idea, why you answered the way you did with these questions. It's like your body knows the answers. Yeah, as a generator myself, and I think upwards of 70% of the population has either a emotional manifesting generator, or just pure generator. I think those are the three combinations of what generators are. Make up about 70% of the population. But as far as the sacral authority, I don't know how many percentage that is. But if that is you, there's a pretty high likelihood it could be you. If that is you, try that little exercise because it might benefit you to get those questions answered that you seek. All right. That concludes our take a deep breath. That was like rapid fire. Concludes our free one card poll at the beginning, which we went a little over, probably like a half hour over. But that's okay. All right. So we have our giveaway and our drawing yet to come. But before we get into all of that, we have 2 one-card questions, which are going to go quick. They're pretty much about the length of time that we just spent on each of these one-card polls. So yeah, there we go. The only difference is that when you donate for your one-card poll, you actually get to ask the question. When I do it just kind of at the beginning of certain live streams, the question kind of just gets answered, whether that's your question or not. You just get what you need to know in the moment. Okay, so it's 11:11 on for PayPal, and then 15 on SuperChat. Yes. So if you look at the pinned comment, or sorry, not the pinned comment, for the pricing is in the description. But I will get you on the list. I can answer, because it is less than what the donation amount is. I can still answer something, but it wouldn't be like the full amount, I guess. I mean, it's almost there. It's almost there. But yes. All right. So, and I hope you got your message, Maya, because sometimes when we go away to donate, we miss a bit of the live stream. So, where are we? We are. Oops. There it is. Okay. So apparently when the second time I posted the donation list, I completely deleted the people who donated. So let me re-update that real quick. There it is. And then let me add, yes, Maya, 54, one card. Oh, 54. One card. Okay. And that would leave us with 3 spots, even though that is 4. Okay. Alrighty. So first up we have Marlene. Will my short-term goal that I set for myself come to fruition? Yes, let's find out, my dear. For Marlene, the short-term goal she has set for herself. Will this come to fruition? I'm picturing you working and showing up and doing the things that you need to do to actually make this happen. And I do see you being able to do it. But let's just get some further information on that. Yes. Big yes, especially if this is kind of a passion of yours or something you're really excited to see come to fruition. Got a big yes. I mean, we've answered the question, but let's just keep going and see if we can get any further messages or guidance about how you're making this come to fruition, or just anything else you need to know, Marlene, for her short-term goal and making it come to fruition. Okay, so there's something, maybe even the way you're going about it, or certain people you thought might be involved are not involved. So it's going to be different than you thought it would be, or the outcome. Something about the outcome is going to be different, not necessarily different bad, but just different. Let's see how this is different. Oh, that's how it's different. You're not the same person you are when you started out on this journey as you will be not only when this comes to fruition, but it's like once this goal comes to fruition, you're going to keep going with it in some capacity. Somehow, some way, just even if this goal was just a stepping stone to something, that's what I see it as. It's almost just a stepping stone. Oh, yeah, I did see that you sent it, but the price is $11.11 for one card. That's what I was trying to say. So you've sent 10, so that's like a $1.11 short of what the price is for a one card. I hope that clears it up. Yeah. All right. So Marlene, it's like you are a changed person. Again, not necessarily a bad thing. This is a good thing. But let's see exactly how you're changed as a result of going on this journey, this for this short-term goal that almost again feels like a stepping stone to something greater or bigger that you're building in your life or wanting in your life. Yeah, Queen of Pentacles. I mean, she's pregnant there. That doesn't mean necessarily you're having another child. Unless that is your goal, then obviously take that message like plain as day. But this is something you're giving birth to energetically. If it's an actual child that you're seeking to create, then well done. You have done it. You have done it. And don't let the death card scare you as the fact that anybody's going to die in this situation. No, again, transformational kind of death energy, not literal death energy here. But, you know, the birth and death cycle are very closely linked in so many ways. They're both feminine energies, birth and death. But again, transformational energy, and you're going to be very resourceful on your way through this journey and this, you know, the short-term goal that's going to lead to the next thing, going to lead to the next thing, going to lead to the next thing. So it's like you're just at the beginning of something really beautiful and magical that's going to change you for the better. Because to clarify the death card, we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Miss MacGyver herself. She's going to make the most of the resources she has to really make something happen here in her life. And maybe even in the lives of others, because what I'm sensing from this is this is big energy. Even if right now it just feels like, well, I'm just working on myself, you know, whatever. But no, this is so much bigger than just you. But look, no, not a child. It's hard to tell if I'm getting close or not. Sorry for being big. No, that's okay. No, and again, I don't even have to know your questions at all because, you know, spirit knows. So, but it's so funny how we're trying to get to the bottom of this goal for you. And then you get the pregnancy card, but also this is the self-love card. This is the new love card. You're falling in love with whatever this goal is and whatever it leads to. But again, if you are not looking to create an actual child, just be very properly precautioned through that. Because this is great pregnancy vibes here. But again, we can use that pregnancy vibe that's not the only thing we can create as people, is children. No, we can create so much more than that. So wow, yes, absolutely. Yeah, keep going with this. And not only stop when you get to this goal coming to fruition, but keep going. Somehow, some way, this goal is leading to something greater, like it's building upon something. It's building towards something greater. So I hope that answered your question. Yes, 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 and yes. All right. Oh, you're way younger, but spot on. Oh, I'm so glad it resonated for you, Maya. All right, Brianna, my dear, let's get into your question. Yeah, we're going to just cook right through these. One cards go quick. So we have, please channel exactly what I need to hear in order to fully embody an abundance mindset immediately. Yes, let's do it. And we're going to go to the, oh gosh, I always forget the name of this one. Line Strider Tarot, I think. No, maybe. Yes. Line Strider Tarot for Brianna. Tuning into her true spirit. Exactly what she needs to hear in order to fully embody an abundance mindset immediately. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting. Because this is how they came out. So the Ace of Swords came out in reverse. So there's something you're not quite clear on right now, or something kind of muddying the waters of this abundance mindset that will, you know, any reversal can be upright and, you know, vice versa as well. This really is about being able to get that clarity you need. And it's coming from your own emotional fulfillment about something, but there is a sense of grief tied up into the mindset not being abundant right now. Something as feeling like, well, if I don't do this, then I'm going to lose that. Or, you know, if I don't, you know, it's almost like this, again, lack mentality is kind of the opposite, I guess, of an abundance mindset. So it might even have been life's griefs or losses that led you to more lack mentality. But we're now asking how to get you into this. I mean, what an abundance mindset, that would be right here. And we've got these two like lovebirds like hanging out. So this is almost about like relying or leaning on somebody that is in your love life, you know, your partner, if you have one, can really help you with this. not in a codependent way, but in an interdependent way. Knowing that you don't have to do all these things alone can almost act as this abundance mindset, because it's like a sharing of wealth, a sharing of resources, a sharing of love, a sharing of help. So like not being afraid to rely or lean on the people that are considered your support in life. That will lead you to greater clarity. But let's just see if there's any additional messages you need to know about how to fully embody that abundance mindset immediately. For Brianna specifically, Seven of Swords. Okay, so it's like you're walking away from the things that made you feel small, lied to, cheated on, stolen from, all the things associated with the Seven of Swords. You're letting certain things go. Maybe you're even like cutting cords, or better yet, as I like to say, pulling those cords out by the roots, removing them completely. I mean, it can be as simple as usually when we have something physical or tangible to go along with us in the process of using the imagination to create that alchemy or magic in our lives, what we're asked to do sometimes just as human people, because we are in a very material or tangible world, something as simple as lighting a candle, whatever color feels like abundance to you. I'm getting like the color green, usually we can associate green with abundance, the abundance of leaves and fruit and vegetables. You see when nature's abundant, it's usually very green. Money is also a lot of times associated with the color green. I just have a red candle here. That's why I'm holding it up for the example. But sometimes just, writing out your intention about tuning in and embodying that abundance mindset. Sometimes the easiest way to do that would be something like a reversal candle, to reverse anything that is standing in the way of that abundance mindset that's either within or without, like the outside of you, and sending that energy back to source so that your abundance can start to flow again. That's another really powerful thing to do. But candle magic, using fire as a transformational energy is really, of course, safely. We're doing this safely, a very powerful way. So I would say do some sort of candle magic, or maybe even lighting up some, if you have like a fire pit or something, and writing out all the ways that you do feel this lack of abundance in your life, and then burning it can be very symbolic and very powerful way to transmute and alchemize that lack mentality into something more abundant for yourself. So I hope that resonated for you. Let's actually get one more, just to close it out. Anything else Brianna needs to know about this abundance mindset immediately? And we have here, of course, I'm shuffling upside down. So I speak with good intent. Yes, your intentions, writing them out, and not only writing them out, that's the step I kind of missed. It's so powerful. Yes, writing something out, it does materialize it in a way. But when you can use yet another sense, meaning the hearing sense, using the vibration, I mean, just put your hand right here as you talk. It creates a resonance. It creates a vibration, a frequency that can be heard by other people and other animals and the world. Your intentions, speaking them into being, is a very powerful way to read out what you're looking to release or let go of, or what it is you're looking to bring in. And sometimes we have to let go of those blocks or limits to those beliefs before we can try to allow that abundance in specifically. So it's almost like, you want an abundance mindset and you have a cup that's completely full. Say there's some mud and sludge all mixed up in the clear crystal water of what's in this cup. Sometimes we have to, filter that out before we can add new crystal clean water. Not to say, though, that over time, if we keep adding crystal clean water, that it won't eventually, mostly, if not completely, be paid up for with crystal clear water, right? So it is probably better, though, and easier and more in alignment with what you're looking to actually do, is to first dump all that yuckiness out of the cup, clean it out really well, purify it, cleanse it, clear it, and then start to fill it with that very purified energy yet again. And that's kind of what that, the candle ritual of doing the reversal of anything that's standing in your way, or just letting go, releasing back to source all that's not serving you. And then maybe doing another ritual slightly later on where you're now calling in the abundance. Two very powerful ways you can basically take it back. I don't know about immediately, the part of your question that says to bring it in that abundance mindset immediately. Because we are in a material world, usually things manifest in the physical after they manifest everywhere else first. The spirit, the mind, the emotions. They usually run through all that. Then they become physical. But as immediate as we can in the material world, that's my best advice. So I hope that resonated for you, Brianna. And I did not timestamp that. I probably should have, because sometimes I know she has to duck out, dip out. Let me get these all put back. And interesting, we had the Eight of Swords sitting there. I hadn't included it in your reading, but it was just sitting on top of the table here. So again, this is about kind of sometimes, this is the epitome of limiting beliefs right here. They're not real. They are just a lot of times just perceptions that we have about reality or our lives or what have you. They can feel very real. Let's be honest there. They can feel very real and be operating in our lives as a very real thing. But the basis of the truth of what these false or limiting beliefs are is what's not real. It's just trying to remind ourselves or get us back to good to where we don't, or we no longer believe the truth of the lies that these limits are real. I know I probably confused everybody. I hope I described that as well as I could. But all right. Hi, Divyansha. We already did. We spent like almost over 40 minutes, I think. And normally I only do about 20 minutes, but there were so many people here at the beginning that I already did all of the free readings. Although that being said, we still have our giveaway and our drawing. So there's one more chance to win a free reading. But you can always donate for a guaranteed personal question that you want to ask. And I can obviously also get that to you that way as well. All right. Yes. All right. So thank you, Brandy Lynn, for letting her know. All right. Oh, you're so welcome, Marlene. Absolutely. Okay. So the inbox. Let me go back. All right. Boom, boom. So there's one. Okay, and let's see. Okay. So thank you. You have paid it up in full. Thank you so much for that, Maya. Let's get this question answered for you, my dear, for Peter specifically, about insurance. I saw something about insurance. Okay. So will Peter be approved for his insurance? Let's tune in. I'm already getting a yes, but it just might not be the way you thought, or something about it is not quite on your radar yet, or it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Let's pull some cards and get into it that way. Usually that's the most clear way I can get to the answer. A lot of the way that I get intuitive hits, they can be like pictures or lines of dialogue, sometimes like an amalgamation, sometimes they're just a feeling. But we have the Fool, yeah. So there is a new beginning going on here. Of course, with the Fool, there can be this like naivety going on, or someone that thinks, oh, this is going to be easy, but it's actually so not easy. Again, there might just be some extra hoops. Yeah, there's a need for some balance here, where the Fool's just like, oh, I'm just going to go for it. It's going to work out, la-di-da, roses and rainbows. But the King of Cups knows, okay, no, there might be some obstacles or some extra paperwork or something that I need to do to make this happen, but it's going to happen. So yes, there will be an approval for insurance, but it just might need an extra signature here, an extra bit of paperwork there. There's something just not quite in alignment for it right at this moment that'll make it happen. But taking on that balanced approach will actually make it happen. So it will happen, ... but ... Let's just see if we can get any further information for Peter being approved for insurance. Might even have to be like some doctor's signature or approval or something. And I don't know if this is like health type insurance or like home insurance, auto insurance. I'm not exactly sure. I'm getting like a health vibe from it, or some authority, authority that has to sign to say, yes, this person, Peter, needs this insurance for this reason. Yeah, so Three of Wands, finally being able to, and yes, this makes so much sense. So Three of Pentacles is, it's not just Peter relying on this. It's Peter and another authority type person, and then maybe the insurance company themselves, all coming together to make this happen. But it does happen. This is a positive card, working together to see things to the end. So absolutely, this will happen. And then the Three of Wands, things you've planned for, you'll finally be able to take action and see the results or the abundance or the benefits roll in. Insurance benefits in this case, right? Yes. And then Four of Cups, it's just, again, there's something quite not seen in this instance that, maybe it's that extra signature, or, you're reading through the, insurance contract or paperwork of some sort, and there's just like one little thing you missed, or that they didn't send you in the first place, or something that will be what resolves this. So yes, your answer is yes, will be approved, but it just might not be. Another consideration could be that it just takes longer than you hoped, or they won't cover things predated to the time that the insurance, something like this, that you're not getting 100% happily ever after, but for the most part, you're getting what Peter's getting what he's seeking in this case, if that makes sense. So yeah, like for instance, as the example, if this was a hospital situation and he'd already been hospitalized, and you're trying to get this insurance to come through, and somehow, some way they're denying that previous because it predates when the policy started or something like that. But yes, the insurance will be approved for insurance. It could, again though, it could be something as simple as, well, this doctor has to sign off, or this, whatever has to sign off, or I forgot to sign off, something, it could be very simple. It doesn't have to be all complicated and convoluted. Let's just get one more card. Anything else Peter needs to know about being approved for his insurance? And we have here, I consume only my fair share. So again, it's about that balance. We had that King of Cups, which I already put back in the deck, but about balance, taking getting what's fair. If he deserves to be covered for his health, or, what have you, then absolutely that balance, that fairness is coming his way. That justice, that balance, that Libra, that King of Cups balanced energy. So absolutely, he's getting his insurance. But ... All right, I'm so glad. You might be lagging just a bit behind. That's maybe where a bit of the miscommunication came in earlier. But thank you so much for your donation, and I was happy to read for you. But it looks like good news here. So yay! He's getting his insurance. That's what we want, right? Yes. All right. So let me just double check. I think we are caught up on our donation list, and we can get into our giveaway. So everybody who's here, listening near or far, now's the time. We are getting into our giveaway, and we're going to go to the Light Seers Tarot for the giveaway card. So if you're new here, or you don't understand how this works, all you have to do is guess, or use your intuition, or feel into it. What card am I going to be pulling out of this deck? And I am shuffling them. Riffle shuffle a few times here, really get them mixed together, and away we go. And you can start putting your answers in right now. Oh, thank you so much, Maya. It's my pleasure to read for you, and well, for Peter as well. All right. Oh, Banana Anna S has donated. All right. Ooh, cool question. Ooh, I have chills. We're gonna get into that. I'm excited for that. All right. So, what card am I pulling right now? Ooh, I love it. What card is this? Whoever guesses what tarot card this is, you get a free reading, 1111 value. A free one card. But let's be honest, I never just pull one card. You know me. All right, what is it? And if we're going and no one's getting it, I promise I won't give it away like I did, what was that, a week ago now? Last Wednesday. It was a major arcana last Wednesday, not today so much, or is it? But I'm like, instead of saying it's a major arcana, I said it's the Magician. And of course, only two people were kind of there, and no one had even guessed a thing yet. And I just gave it away. So I just gave both the ladies there the reading. Brandy Lynn was one of them, and then another gal, Amanda F, was there. So I was like, you both win, whatever. It's Mercury retrograde. All right, ooh, Linda H. Hello, Two of Cups. Wow, you are very lucky, or just very blessed lately. You're winning all the giveaways. Look at that. Two of Cups for Linda. I didn't even have to narrow it down. Look at that. It might have been, was it Banana Anna S? I think. It wasn't the first guess or intuition at when she won, but her first guess in that round, she won it. I think it was her, and it was a minute ago now. So don't quote me on that. But Linda, yay! Go ahead and post your question. We're going to get into it for you. And in the meantime, we're going to write down, put a 999 in the chat. And we will get your name on a slip of paper and get you entered into our perpetual drawing. And for those that are new, you do not have to win today to, at some point in the future, be a winner. And you do not need to be present to win, because whoever I pull out of here, let's just say for the sake of argument, Banana Anna S won today's drawing, and say she wasn't here. I would put a timestamp in the description, not in the description, in the comment of this live stream, and then with the timestamp, so that she would be able to just click on this, check the comments. Oh, I won. Click on it, go right to her reading without even having to watch the whole thing. Just find out if she won, let alone what the timestamp is. So easy peasy. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're still here. We have Banana Anna S for a full read, and then we can get you on the list again as well, Maya. But we're going to do Linda's one card for her winning the giveaway, and then I'm going to enter everybody who puts a 999 in the chat into our drawing, and then we'll continue on. Draw the winner, do their quick read, and then into Banana Anna S's question, and then into Maya's next question. Totally. All right, so let me update the list so I'm on that. And we are at Banana Anna S. And that's a full read for you. And then Maya one card when she donates again. And that would leave us with, I think, around 2 spots or so. A lot of them were one cards, so they weren't even like full spots anyway. But enter, did I enter that right? No, I did not. There we are. Boom. Current. And it is really warm in here. Might open the window, which seems weird because it's snowing out. I probably could have just turned the fan on like a normal person, but I didn't do that. Oh, the light switch is off. That would help if I turn that on real quick. There we have it. Okay. Cool. All right. Fans on. I'm sure I'll be closing that window momentarily. Not very warm out today, but yes. So next order of business, get names on slips of paper. All right. So first up, and I might turn that down just a bit because it's very windy in here when it's up full blast like that. All right. So Brandy Lynn, let's get your name on the slip of paper. Brandy Lynn, entering you into the drawing. Boom. Next at 999, I see Marlene. My pen's cutting out. There we go. And yeah, I have a hair tie on here. Don't ask me why. Probably my kids did that. I did not. Let me get some new slips cut up here. Anyone else that wants to be entered besides, I do see also Banana Anna S and Linda H. Okay, cool. Boom. I swear this part takes the longest, is just cutting new strips. And I keep saying, ooh, I'm going to remember to just cut a bunch of new strips up and then they're ready. And then I keep not doing that. I need to get with it. Okay. So, Banana Anna S, let's get your name down. Boom. Entered, and Linda. Linda H. And anyone else? Let's see. Yes, John and Michelle. Perfect. John and Michelle. There we go. All right. And of course, anyone else between, oh, and Brianna, I did not see hers till just now. We'll get hers. And of course, anyone between now and the end of the live stream, of course, we're going to draw here momentarily, but anyone who puts a 999 between now and the end, I will always honor that. So it just will be for a future drawing is all. Brianna. Oh, you were on the phone. Okay. I did your reading and then completely forgot to timestamp it because I usually kind of know you're kind of here and there and whatnot during most live streams. And I should have just timestamped it, but I wasn't thinking. All right, let's shake it up real good. We're about ready to draw. And then Linda's got her question ready, so we're going to get right into that. And then the drawing winner, which is, drum roll please. I used you as the example. It must have spoken to the universe's ears. Of course, not from today, because we used the orange pen today. Banana S, you won the giveaway. Sorry, the drawing. I always mix those two up. Look at that. I used you as the example as, let's just say we pull her name. But you are here. In the example, you were not here. Congratulations. That's so fun. I love that. All right. So let's get into Linda's question, and then we'll do a quick pull for Banana Anna S, and then we are on to Banana Anna S's super chat question. Yes. Okay. So we have the Two of Cups come out for Linda. So what field do you see my son getting a summer job in? Retail, restaurant, office, or self-employed? All right. So the Two of Cups is like a soulmate energy. And of course, that's what won you the reading. So let's get into the fact that the Two of Cups represents like soulmate energy. So he might be working with someone who he feels really connected to on some level, be it a friend, a family member, something like that. It feels more like his age group. So it's probably a friend. Maybe a friend is like, oh, dude, my job's hiring. You should work with me, and then we could hang out together while we're working. But let's just see what okay, so this is the time that he's making plans or just kind of expanding his horizons in his, mind, thinking, well, it might be fun to do this kind of job or that kind of job, and just allowing himself to go wild and fill out all sorts of applications or get resumes out and just, do just that, get those resumes out, do whatever interviews are coming up, but just maybe even starting at the brainstorm part, especially if he's not quite sure what he wants to be when he grows up, who knows that, right? So if he's still very much in the I don't know what I want to be when I grow up stage, this could be the time for him to just brainstorm and think, well, could I go here? Should I do this? But we have the Tower here. So there might even be a job he really wants to get that he doesn't either get a call back or they don't even read his resume or something like this. But don't fret, because there's actually something better waiting for him. And let's just see if we can gain or gather an idea of what kind of job he would be doing. King of Wands. This is someone very in charge of their own schedule. I mean, you do have self-employed on there. This feels very self-employed vibes here. Doesn't mean that's going to be his prime thing, but there might be something he wants to start, or he knows he can maybe make some sales or exchange some services, but it's not going to be probably sustaining him fully financially. But it wouldn't hurt for him to start something if he hasn't already. Again, though, it just might not be his full income. There might be, another part-time job or something he's getting, because now he's kind of in the beginner stage here on the back for some other job. Let me see if I can get out my, where is it? Here it is. Life Purpose Oracle. These are always fun to try to get more, I guess, in alignment with someone's career. Although it doesn't have every career under the sun on here, but we can get a general sense from some of these cards. So Linda H's son, summer job. What kind of summer job would he be doing? Ooh, author. Again, this doesn't mean he has to write a book this summer or anything like that, but whatever job he's getting, it's like communication is very important. Could be writing emails or having to write something about the job is very central to having to communicate certain ideas to a customer or person. Might even be like him writing up specials on the board. Like if he is working in a restaurant, that does feel. But it's so weird. Maybe he's working at like a library or something. I don't know if he's into reading and writing at all, but hey, maybe his side gig or side hustle is him writing some sort of book. If he's at all into that kind of thing. Or maybe he's reading certain books that are going to give him the knowledge or tools to be able to start a job in something. But it could very well be, I'm getting like like maybe even like a barista. I don't know if he's into something like that, making coffee for people. Yeah, but weird, because that's kind of where we started here, is with the sense of leadership. So even if he does start out in a job kind of low man on the totem pole, it's like by the end of the summer, he's like leading the whole place. Maybe not like full on like manager of the place, but at least among his kind of peers, he's looked to as a leader. And not in that like cocky ego way where he's like, no, I'll do it. I'm the best one here. Like, not at all like that. He's just very confident in his abilities or skills. Maybe not at first, because when we first start a job, we could be nervous. Even if it's a job or a type of job we've done before, if it's at a new place with new people, it's brand new, But he's very quickly moving from just like entry level, low man on the totem pole to like, I know what's up. So, yeah, it very well might be restaurant, could be retail. I'm not really quite getting that vibe. Could be like a bookstore though. If it is retail, it feels very in alignment with like a bookstore, library, yeah, barista, maybe even restaurant. Like that's kind of the vibe as far as being employed by somebody else that I'm getting. But if none of that actually interests him, of course, go the direction that interests him. This just seems very feasible that he could get a job in something like what we're talking about here. And then study is on the back of the deck. Maybe he's actually working through the university or the school that he's going to school for. That way, even if he's not doing summer classes, he's still very close to campus in some way. Yeah, because this to me feels like reading, research, and education help you gain confidence and clarity about your career. So maybe he is also taking summer classes if he feels so inclined to do that. I know not everybody. There was one semester I'm like, I just want to knock these out and just be done. These are 5 weeks. It's more intense because it's 5 weeks, cramming a whole semester into 5 weeks. But I'm like, let's just do it. I took a biology class that way and a linear and probability math class, which were both just like general education type stuff that I'm like, let me just knock these out. I don't care about really either of these topics. Let's just do them. Let's just get them done. So I did those over the summer, one summer. But yeah, as far as him doing the entrepreneurial thing, it feels like he would be online doing some sort of, if it's not him purely working for himself, he could even be working online. That's another way we could interpret like the author of the study, the books, messages that all came out from the Life Purpose Oracle for what he could possibly be doing. Yes. All right. So let me put these back. Oh, he does sell on eBay. And that's so funny because that's literally how I paid my way through college. I didn't take out any loans at all. I just worked I would go, there's a place here in town called Bargain Corner, and they used to have a $5 bag sale every Friday and Saturday. So you knew where I was on Fridays and Saturdays during those days. I was filling up my bag with brand name clothes and like career wear, like ladies, like Ralph Lauren, like chino pants and these kind of things. And I would resell them on eBay. I found like a lot of Lucky jeans, which were like in back in the day. And that's how I paid my way through college. And that, the whole online used clothing thing wasn't what it is now. But it so is a thing now that I probably wouldn't be able to do that and actually pay my way. University tuition is not cheap. And I was able to not only pay my way with that, but I had gas money, I had food money, I had money for books. I had all my needs met. Of course, I didn't have to pay rent or utilities or anything like that because I did live with my husband. Well, not at the time husband, but boyfriend at the time's parents, now husband. So that really helped save us money on being able to actually save up for a house after we were both out of college. So, oh, it was on campus. There you go. One of his roommates works at a coffee place. He's thinking about screenwriting as a career. Boom, boom. So everything we talked about, even though it wasn't all one cohesive thing of, okay, first this, then this, and this. Like it all came out in there somewhere. It's so weird how that is. And you think he applied for one on campus. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, and submitted and haven't heard from the ones he applied for. Okay, that might be that tower moment of, well, I've already got all my info out there to people and no one's calling me. But he's going to get something that feels, at the very least, it's going to pay his bills. He's going to have some fun. May not be a forever job. Whose college summer job is ever a forever job? I'm sure there's people out there, but that so wasn't me. I didn't sell on eBay forever. I even took some temp jobs, like working assembling kiln trucks, like the little things that they would send these like stones and bricks into these kilns to be fired, and I assembled the basically the wheels. We had to put all these little um like they were like round. So I can't remember the names of these things. Cylindrical, like metal, 12 metal pieces. First, we had this big wheel. We had to grease all this big vat of like red grease. We had to grease the inside, and then we had to put these 12 little steel circular things in there. So where then you put the bolt through, and then the cotter pin thingy, and then they would roll. So like the things, it basically create the middle part of the wheel. And yeah, it was very Saturn type work. Working at a welding place as the only female in there, that was interesting. But I also worked at lumber mills. I worked forest fires. I've worked all these weird industrial type jobs where I was always the only girl in my like late teens and early 20s. That's kind of where I was. I don't know why. I just ended up in these types of jobs. Never worked retail, but I did work at Pizza Hut and this Chinese restaurant in town for like, again, just over the course of like a month or two during different summers. Yeah, very interesting. I know, it really does have so many implementations. Isn't that cool? Yeah, he is just thinking to save for the summer and have fun. Yeah, totally. Why? Why is it trying to get me to do all these things? Go away commands. I just want to read the chat. Okay. Oh, this is amazing how much this reading resonates with my current state of being. Oh, I love it, Brianna. Big hugs to you. The fact you ended with candle magic, so deeply invested in candle magic. Boom. Mic drop. Yeah, I made up a whole batch of these reversal candles that, I'll probably put up to sell maybe just to you guys and people I know in person, but I'm not going to probably advertise them anywhere else. I might start up like a little Etsy situation, but again, it's not going to be anything I'm looking to like sustain my life on income wise. It's just a fun thing. I genuinely just enjoy making candles and using candles myself. So like I'll make a few extras and see if anyone here wants them or people I know in real life want them, real life, as if this isn't real life. You know what I mean. All right, let's get Banana Anna S her card. And we're going to use Brit's Third Eye Tarot. Banana Anna S for her giveaway win. Sorry, drawing win. What does Banana Anna S need to know? Banana Anna S. And we have here the Temperance card. It's a very spiritual Temperance card and very vulnerable, nude right out there in the water, but very tranquil and peaceful. I love that. But let's just see. Anything else she needs to know? This balance. Okay, ooh, that's why. So where things may feel out of balance, there's balance coming in. And where certain other things feel very balanced right now, there's maybe some busyness, chaos, imbalance coming in. So the midpoint of these two is to embrace when things get a little dodgy, a little chaotic, a little busy, it feels like the lunch rush. Like now I'm seeing myself working at Pizza Hut back in the day where it's like dead before the lunch rush. And we had like the pizza buffet at Pizza Hut and this was back in 2002, like way back. And then you'd have like this just like, and it almost felt like unending pandemonium of the lunch rush you barely have time to even like wipe the sweat from your brow before you're to the next thing. And then before you know it, boom, lunch rush is over and then it's dead again for another couple hours. Like that's what this feels like. So it's not like for weeks on end, you're going to be like boom, 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 boom. But like, it's like an ebb and then a flow and then an ebb. And it's like you making the most, Banana Anna S, of your time between when things are more still to kind of build you up for that proverbial lunch rush of whatever's going on. This could be at work, but this also could just be in general, things feeling very like emotionally out there in the world. Those waves in the background feel very apt for the energies of just people's heavy emotions that are coming up, and just like the collective emotions in this matrix right now are very up and down, you feel these fleeting moments of really just joy, bliss, happiness, and then before you know it, you're like crying. And not like me personally, but like the general people out there are just like in a ball on the floor crying. Like there's just a lot of heavy emotions coming up right now, and also good emotions. So again, it's about finding the calm in the eye of the hurricane, I guess. But to me, it feels like a positive message of you have that inner balance and just bringing it more to the external, especially for starting something new. Page of Pentacles, new beginning. She could be starting some sort of course, online course, or study of some kind, or even just in establishing like a reading routine for yourself, like where you're just reading for fun or something. Um, Finding time to go to the library or a bookstore. I mean, very interesting how like books and that kind of thing have been kind of the theme for these past 2 readings here. Very interesting how that is. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, Linda. But I hope that resonated for you, Banana Anna S. And I don't know if I saw, oops, let me go back. At least as of right now, I don't have another donation from Maya, so I'm not sure if she's still planning to do that or not. But we're definitely going to go into Anna's reading. My part-time job became full-time for a week, and then a lull, and back to full-time again with training. I love my downtime, though. Right, same. And it seems to be even more far and few between these days because of sports. But yeah, I know that'll slow down, and things will almost come to a crescendoing halt once school ends and baseball ends all the same week. And it's just going to be like, we were so busy running here, running there. And now it's like crickets. Now I have to be activities coordinator at home for the summer. But no, they're still signed up for a lot of fun summer stuff, at least once, twice a week here and there throughout the summer. And then they have, at least as far as since we've signed up, a couple of tennis camps where it's two-week sessions. So a whole month of the summer, Monday through Thursday for an hour and a half each, back to back for the 2 boys, we're at tennis camp. And every summer since they started doing that about 4 summers ago, that's when I get down to business reading craft books, like writing craft, like the craft of writing type books, to like level my just arsenal tool belt as a writer up a little bit. So I'm probably gonna do the same thing this summer. It's just bring my laptop, but also bring my highlighters and my notebooks, and take my notes and learn things about writing. Specifically, I have a book I got for Christmas about dialogue and writing better dialogue, and I'm kind of excited to get to that, but I know I won't get to it until summer, so we'll save it for tennis camp. All right, let's get into your donation question, Anna, which is, are animals, domestic and wild, both NPCs and or true essence spirit? And do they leave the matrix when they die? Okay, boom. Let's find out. Already though, I will tell you, especially domestic animals, and this is something I heard years and years ago, and it resonated so deeply and felt so beautiful to me. And then when I kind of went into my inner journey about it, I uncovered slightly different, but yet very similar answers, I guess, to the question of specifically wild or more like specifically like farm animals, cows most specifically, to where that there is kind of, and I know this sounds weird and woo-woo and out there, but just stand by. So the collective energy of the species of the cow in general, and then all the different, there's a heifer, there's a Angus, there's a Texas Longhorn, there's, all these different types of cow. But there is like this oversoul that will resonate with all the different species. I don't know if that's the right word, of the different cows and whatnot. Like they all share an oversoul, so to speak. And then when, say, okay, the movie City Slickers, I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's from like 93, 92, 91, 93, somewhere in there. Very, very young Jake Gyllenhaal and his sister played the kids in the show, or the movie. But Billy Crystal, the main character, is out on this like cattle drive with his childhood best friends and what have you. And they're like kind of going through their midlife crisis situation. And he delivers this calf and he names it Norman. And he lives in New York City, I think. And he brings Norman, like he's like, oh no, these cows are being driven, by you guys, cattle driving them, not in trucks, but like on horseback, to be slaughtered, basically. And that just doesn't sit right with him. And he's like having this second existential crisis in the movie about, I can't let Norman just go to die. And he ends up bringing Norman home and at the end of the movie. And then there's the City Slickers too. I think they had to put Norman in when he grew full size in some sort of animal sanctuary, but they still got to visit him or what have you. But just the fact that he singled Norman out and had a connection, it's like it allowed more of that soul essence to drop into Norman, or a singular cow, so to speak. So that's how I see, I guess, farm animals and even like wild animals, those ones that just feel special out there to this person or that person. Very similar situation. And it feels slightly different to me with animals that are mostly bred to be domesticated or like as pets or family members, like dogs, cats, birds, certain birds, rats, snakes. I mean, these can all be beloved pets, right? And I really do get, especially with like dogs and cats, is kind of the core pet realm. That most, I'd say, your average person wouldn't be hard pressed to find a dog or a cat in one household or another. They do feel very individualized souls, more on the spectrum of like how human spirits come in, where we may, yes, have this shared oversoul experience, but yet also very individual spirit experience, if that makes sense. And again, this is all within operation of the Matrix as I understand it. I have not, since I had that rude awakening from the awakening in late 2022, revisited this inner journey to see if that is the same on the outside of the Matrix. But intuitively, with how deep of connections I've had with certain animals in my life, I would go out on a limb to say they are soul family, even outside this Matrix, or they really are, spirit connected outside this Matrix. And yes, also within the Matrix. Yeah. So that's kind of how I'm phrasing this to get going, but I'm still gonna be pulling cards on this as well. But I wanted to kind of set a ground structure for us to build upon. But let's ask your animal question: animals, domestic and wild. But yes, also the NPC factor. I do see that can be the case, just like it can be with human spirit. Can also be the case with animals. And a card just flipped to the floor, but it's like NPC plus NPC equals NPC, and then spirit plus spirit equals spirit. So it's like people with the true spirit will get an animal, if that's their vibe to get animals, they will get, they will attract true spirit to them. And then the more NPC human people out there will attract more NPC type of dogs, cats, whatever, crows that they feed in their neighborhood, But we have here the Two of Wands. Yes, there's two types. There's both NPC and there's also the true spirit. And again, I'm getting the two types, both in the Matrix, and things might be different with outside the Matrix, but let's just see the difference between how that whole soul thing operates as far as my understanding, and of course also your understanding goes inside the Matrix. How does that differ outside the Matrix? I want to know. Are these spirits of these animals that we love so dearly in the Matrix still connected to us outside the Matrix as well? I don't know if connected, because connected can also almost have that like codependent, I don't know, kind of connotation, or like, well, you're all tied together in these contracts within the Matrix. I don't see that connection or contract between two spirits the same outside the Matrix. It's more free. You're free to, it's not even that you have to have this specific spirit family unless you choose to, right? So that's kind of how I see it outside the Matrix. But it's almost like in the Matrix, somehow this was chosen before we incarnated, or we're just already in these groups somehow, some way. But when it goes beyond the Matrix, it's like we can choose to connect to this spirit or that spirit, or love this spirit or that spirit. But again, if we consider that we are all fractals of that infinite source, original source creator, then we could never not be connected. I mean, I hope that makes sense. And it's not that the weight of a spirit is any greater as a human or a dog or a whatever, when we get outside this Matrix and we're all connected back to source, if that makes sense. Yeah. So Page of Cups. Yeah. And there might even be, because we just don't have the framework and the language to put into perspective, because we're using our human logic and our human, what we know to be true or what we think to be true in this human meat suit incarnation. We consider this, how could there be anything outside of what this is? But it's almost like trying to describe the color purple to someone who's never had sight. It's impossible. It's unfathomable. Unfathomable. I can speak, I swear. So I'm getting an element of this as far as trying to describe how things are outside the matrix between, spirits and what have you, that we just don't have the framework to grasp what's actually going on, but it's a beautiful surprise. Or when we do return to that energy or that knowing, we get it. We get it then. But we couldn't probably quite grasp it now. But to just kind of sum it up, to say that, yes, when we do go beyond this matrix, we can still have those connections. And it's in a much more surprising and beautiful way than we could even fathom as human spirits right now in these incarnations with our human lens that we see everything from. Or more to the point, don't see everything from, because we see like less than 1% of the visible light spectrum. That in and of itself should tell us just how throttled and dumbed down we've been to these tiny little points on a graph for the greater existence that's out there, But let's just see specifically with your life, Anna, because why not? The animals that you've had in your life that you've really beloved, that have been the beloved animals in your life. If you are, do have that connection outside, absolutely. Happy home, happy family, love, connection, celebration. It's everything you could want. And again, we're just not seeing with this is a card of perspective and feeling that grief, that loss. Of course, when they pass away in this incarnation, we feel like we're losing part of our own heart, part of our own family, especially if you've had those very, very deep connections with certain pets throughout your life, Anna. You can feel that loss feels very real and substantial because that animal is no longer a part of your life, or maybe you buried that animal or you have their ashes or something. So that loss feels very substantial, but beyond the matrix, beyond all the veils that, we have dumbing us down, there is that union, that connection, this is like a twin flame energy as well. So again, how could that soul be, or spirit be, anything but you at the fundamental level? We're all, if you think about it, all the spirits that exist really technically are twin flames if we all come from that source. You know what I mean? But we as humans, we like to put everything with a neat little pretty bow and explanation in a little box and label it, You know how we do here on Earth. But yeah, it feels both less complicated and more incrementally more complicated than we can even wrap our heads around. But I hope I did my best at trying to at least describe both in the matrix, both out the matrix, both NPC and spirit, and the difference. Hopefully at least you have an answer now a little bit. When I've done animal communication, more telepathy than channeling. Oh, that's so interesting too. Remind me, Chloe Hudson. She's on YouTube with Chloe Hudson World Peace Projects, I think she calls herself. It's funny because right before the live stream, she had posted that she has a newer channel, and she was just kind of talking about it. And it's still up. I didn't even have to open it. I just unlocked my phone, and there it is. Her animal communication, and she has remote viewing on animal-led equal rights meeting in the animal. So animal communication, pet combos. She only has 72 subscribers on this channel. But yeah, what a synchronicity. Like literally 3 minutes after I did all my cleansing, all my clearing, all my getting aligned to my true spirit that I do before the live streams, I'm like, okay, I have 3 minutes. Let me just check my subscription feed and see if there's anything I need to add to my to watch list. And there that was. And that's the last thing I left off on before this started. So like, how cool is that? That's so cool. And I'm like, ooh, let me watch that later. Probably listen to it as I clean or something later. But yeah, so fun. But yeah, when I have done animal communications, more telepathy than channeling, some domestic animals are really focused on their humans and the drama of the matrix, and others seem, yeah, big picture. Yep, ups, and I can totally see that. Yep. I think you're right. I think you're right. Because it's so interesting, because I love dogs. I love all dogs. But there are just certain dogs that you just really resonate or gravitate toward, even if it's just a random stranger walking by with their dog and their dog stops to sniff you. There are certain dogs I just don't feel any kind of pull or connection to, even though I'm like, oh, you're a cute dog. But like it's very surface level. But then there's other dogs that, will come up to you in public, or, you go say, oh my gosh, I love your dog. It's so cute, or whatever. That you almost just feel sad having to walk away, because you feel that animal spirit. Like there's a difference. And I'm sure I don't even need to explain that to you. You know what I'm trying to say. because I feel it, and I felt that for so long since I was a child. Like at age 3 or no 4, because we were living in Odessa, Washington at the time. I got bit by a German Shepherd dog right in the face, and one of my eyebrows, one of them up here, has a tiny little scar from getting bitten. But and that was just like a neighbor down the way's dog bit me, and I was all up in its face, loving on it. So that's what happened. But even then, like maybe I didn't understand the boundaries and the fact that yes, there are certain animals I was more drawn to or whatever, but I was maybe just not giving this animal the space it needed. But now I've really like gauged into there's certain dogs, and speaking of, this is so weird. I was going to talk to you guys about this a few live streams ago, but I had so much to talk about the past few live streams that I didn't even mention it because it was just like one thing on top of a pile of 100 I wanted to talk about. And then this time I'm like, oh, I'm not even going to schedule to talk about anything specific. So for years and years and years, there have been these tiny, very surface level kind of scars and scratches and stuff that I've gotten over the years that just disappeared, literally disappeared off my body with no for like how, why, what. And one of them, well, two of them specifically, were these, and it might be hard to see here. All right, let me find it. There's one, and there's two. Very, very surface level. But I had them years ago, and then they disappeared like around 2016, 2017. I just was looking at the back of my hand one day. I'm like, oh, that's weird. That one scratch and that one bite. And then also this. So those 3 that I just showed you all came from one specific dog bite by a bull mastiff dog in 2002. And weird, because I was actually talking about working at the lumber mill and everything. And this was the same summer I had left the job at Pizza Hut the week before I got this dog bite and started working at Stimson, the lumber mill. And this dog bit me. I was trying to give it a dog bone because we had, well, at the time, I think 6 dogs. My mom had 6 dogs. They were family dogs. It's not like they were all hers. One was my brother's, one was my sister's, blah, blah, blah. But they all live with my mom and together and what have you. But I thought, I was kind of cautious because this dog did not like people except my brother. And he lived way down the road. But he came up and was like, I'm like, I want this dog. Like, it was more my ego getting in the way. Like, why won't this dog like me? I like dogs. I love dogs, in fact. This dog just does not like me. I'm going to make it like me. So I go in the house, I get a bone, and the dog is like slowly coming up to smell my hand. And I'm like, okay, see, we got this. And then it just didn't go for the bone, but just like bit me. And I'm like, oh my God. And then like the dog backed up and I'm like, oh God, like my whole hand is just bleeding and it hurts. And I like run in the house and my brother like gets the dog like and takes it back down because it kept getting out of the owner's house. Well, later that day, my mom and I and my brother had to go down to the courthouse and tell what happened because I can't remember if the neighbor called the cops or what have you. It wasn't me. It wasn't my brother, but someone had called the police. The police showed up like less than 10 minutes later. My brother had already taken the dog home, and the police was like, well, this dog has attacked somebody, so we need to make a report on it. And I'm like, no, it's fine. He's back home. It's cool. But we had to go down to the courthouse and they had to take our statements and all this and that. And then they decided by the end of probably an hour we were there, that they were going to have to euthanize the dog because I wasn't the only not that he had attacked anyone else, but there'd been other complaints that this dog was acting dominant and I guess had attacked some other people's dogs, but not a person. And now the fact that he had attacked a person, he was a menace. So they had to, and I bawled and I bawled and I bawled and I felt so bad. I'm like, if I had just stepped away and just let the dog do his thing, he wouldn't have done that. And it was the same when I got bit by that dog when I was 4 years old in Odessa. But even still, I couldn't sense the spirit of either of those dogs really looking back and thinking about it the way I can just random people or like our neighbor dog over here. Like I totally sense that dog has a spirit, stuff like this. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, some dogs just feel like a dog with maybe they have a bit of a purpose, but then they kind of almost just get recycled back into the matrix. Same with other animals. So I know, very long-winded discussion and explanation to say that, yeah, I think you already intuitively know, Banana Annis, what's up and what's going on with spirits of animals or not spirited animals, possibly. All right. So did I hit everything that we needed to do? I don't think Maya donated again. So yeah, we are up to date. So that's gonna be it. But let me circle back to why, how, what, how did these scars come back? Um, yeah, and even this long scratch, I don't know if we can see it. The lighting in here is not, but I mean, they're so subtle. It's like, well, in my head, I'm like, no, no, they were there. I just didn't see them. But like, I mean, that expression, and it's weird because on this side, I mean, I have this one right here. And it weird too though. I've had this one. I cut myself on a broken porcelain clown as a kid. Big one, big old gash. um, but that never disappeared. But all the like surface level, very small ones were gone for years. And then, like, I don't know, it was last week, a week before, somewhere in there. I just was like, I was typing and I was like thinking about my scene. I might have even been on with Brandy Lynn when this occurred to me, and then I had forgotten to tell her about it. I'm pretty sure that was what was going on. Yeah, it had to have been. I'm looking, I'm like, got my hands on my keyboard, like, really thinking about how I want someone to say something. And I'm looking at the back of my hand, I'm like, wait, where'd those go? They're back? What the heck? Like, it's so weird. So it's like I'm back in a body from the past, but like, I don't know. I don't know. I say if this is exactly that past body, where are all my zits and acne? Where? Because boy, were they there for years. I struggle with acne from like age 14 through about 34. 20 full years of just acne, acne, acne. But like now I'm back to a version of myself that at least existed before 2016. Because I do distinctly remember, yeah, it had to have been around, yeah, it was around Halloween of 2016 when I'm like, where did those scars go? But weird, they're all the scars that have been on my right hand, and of course, the biggest scar of all, the missing finger, were still there on the right, which is where I have most of my issues all the dang time in my body. My migraines usually start on the right, not always, but I'd say 90% plus of the time. Every bone I've broken, the one time, the wrist, right side of the body, roll my ankle constantly on the right side of my body. When I tore the intercostal muscle behind my ribs during COVID because I coughed so much, right side of the body. Yeah, just so much going on the right side. And then the left side is like, once in a while, I'll get that headache on the side, or, I'll accidentally do whatever. But like for the most part, it's probably 90% of the pain or injury or what have you happens on the right side of my body. But how weird that now a version of me that's now in existence again got those tiny little bumps and bruises and scars back on the right side of the body. Yeah, there's another part of that bite right there. You see it? It's mostly like a white scar rather than like a pink scar. But what? What's happening? I don't get it, because this stuff was completely gone. And I would go like, I'm like, I know I had all these scars. That's where I got bit by the dog. Yet I have more scars on this side. Like what? Weird. I wonder though, because I got bit on the left side. I wonder if that dog bite, I can't remember. I have to look in a mirror, and then of course that's also backwards. Which elbow, eyebrow. I meant eyebrow. Which elbow on my face got bit by the dog? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Right side, I've heard right side is trauma in this life, and the left is from the other. Take that with what you will. Right? I've heard that as well. And of course, feminine side is left, masculine is right. But intuitively, I get that that's actually reverse. So who knows? Who knows what else we've been lied to about? Because back in the day when I used to allow all these spirits to just check on in like I was a hotel room, that sounded kind of sexual, and that's not how I meant it. But allowing all these spirits to come in, Kurt Cobain would always show up on the feminine side, or wait, no, the masculine side, and then all the others, male, entities and what have you that presented as male would show up on the right side. So it's actually like swapped. Like I don't know. I don't mess with any of that stuff anymore, so I don't even know what it would be now. But who knows? Yeah, that's so weird. I wonder. Hi, Amber. Yeah, think of all the past injuries, traumas, wounds you've had onto your physical body. What side of the body are they mostly occurring on? Or do you have a 50-50 split? Do you really not notice the difference because it's just wherever? I notice a distinct, at least 90% is on the right and maybe 10 or less is on the left. Personally. What's that about? I don't even know. I'm gonna have to like feel into it during one of my next journeys. As I'm now calling my meditations journeys. But not journeys somewhere out there. Journeys like within. That's what I'm rolling with. Oh, you missed the whole live. Oh, it's about even for you, John. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I wonder if there is. Let's just, since we're all here and we don't have any more donations, and I could either leave or just hang out a little longer. Let's just read into, is there a reason? Especially for those, let's tune into those of us that are either watching now or going to watch this on a replay. Our just very small collective. I mean, there's 5 people watching now, plus me, plus, I don't know, maybe a handful of more people will watch this on a replay. I don't get a lot of replays on me, so it might just be like those of you that watch all the live streams are probably the ones watching the replays anyway. So we've got our little collective here. Let's just see, for those of us watching now and on the replay, what does pain being or injury manifesting on one side of the body or the other mean? Does it have a meaning? What do we need to know about this? Okay, so probably I'd have to cycle through all of these, but I think the only card in the deck that has someone that has at least at one point appeared injured and has injuries on her body is on the card. See all the scars and stuff on her legs? What? There's a reason. There's a reason. And King of Swords. Something about the masculine. Wow. Wow. And I just heard journey, like life journey, like meaning something to do with, it does feel very matrixy, to be honest. Let's just see, what is this? What is this? I want to know what's going on with this. Literal manifestation of pain. Masculine, which is weird because it is the masculine or alleged masculine side, the right side of my body that I get all the pain on. Although that's maybe not true for all of you. I know Banana Anna said she was kind of in that realm as well. Yeah. But that could be, yeah, some past life stuff coming through, but also some this life stuff coming through. What is it with the masculine? Oh, okay. I get what it is. It's something to do with the, like, you know, the matrix being now more geared toward like male dominance and patriarchy. And an imbalance of the masculine energy within each of us as a result of how the matrix is set up. It's almost like we have to defend or double down on, especially those of us that have that more right side dominant pain and injury going on. It's like those of us that have that going on almost feel like we have to show up in our masculine energy, and then we take the hits that life throws at us as a result of doing that. So I think for those of us that experience more pain on the right, it's about us stepping more deeply into the feminine or left. Although I would argue again, though, that they are actually technically reversed, but because we're operating in the matrix system, we kind of have to play it as the matrix is saying to then overcome it, if that makes sense. So it's almost like we have to step more into the feminine energy of the left side. For those experiencing more pain on the left, what's the message coming through for them? Okay, kind of slipped down and fell. So 10 of Cups, Page of Swords, and the Lovers. Wow. So this to me feels like a decision to take on more masculine lifetimes than feminine lifetimes. And I don't know if it goes more deep than that, but yeah, something to do with the emotional wounds of being female. Yeah, it is confusing, I know. Even if you're a female in this incarnation, it looks to be that any past life that you've had as a female has just been so over the top in trauma and wounds and emotional pain that you usually will try to show up in a masculine form because it's less painful in that way. Doesn't mean that you do shy away from being female, especially you, Amber. I'm seeing you. Yeah, because it's so effing painful to be female in a female body. Think of all the time that's passed, at least in his story that we know, or the stories that are told of how females have been treated, you know, raped and pillaged, and you're my property. And of course it would be much lighter to then show up in a masculine form through all these different eras and lifetimes. if history's the way we're said it was, right? Yeah, it's just easier to be in the so not to say that the men like John that are here now that you haven't had female lives. Obviously, of course you have. Um, but yeah, yeah, that's my feeling of this lifetime. Right, right. But let's see how we can overcome or take our power back from whatever's going on in this regard to what we're asking. Come on. All right. So it's almost like trying to force something that doesn't need to be forced. And King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. So it's almost like we're going in reverse. We're healing by going, not having to go through each lifetime and attach to the stories of it and relive the trauma. I don't see it in this way, but it's like we're going back through time to where it was the more balanced energy of feminine, more, again, it wasn't like it was a matriarchy, so to speak, but the masculine just respected, understood, and knew and revered the feminine form and energy on the planet because it knew it was what brought life here. And would never, those pure divine spirits back then, would never have thought to do anything to a woman without her consent. And that's what we're returning to. Again, it's almost like we're having to now go in reverse. It almost reminds me of I think it was definitely a Jim Carrey movie. I think it was on Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, where he was putting himself into reverse and he's like going back. I think he was wearing the tutu in that scene where he's going back through it and pretending like he was being rewound. Like that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. It's like, and how weird though that he was a male kind of dressed up in a more feminine tutu in that scene. So maybe there's something deeper to that scene and what they were talking about, which I don't remember. I think they were at like a mental institution and he was trying to get in because he was trying to find somebody. Weird. I don't know. I wonder if I can pull that scene up. I don't remember. It's been so long since I've watched that movie. I think Courtney Cox was with him in that scene. Let me see. Ace Ventura. And how weird, Pet Detective. We were just talking about animals right before this. So weird. Tutu. Let's just see if anything comes up about it. Oh, he was at the rehab facility. Oh, slow motion. So if you go to, I'm not going to show it here, but I'm just going to show you. So the clip, Pet Detective slow motion clip, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe there's a message in that. Maybe some of the dialogue that's said during that scene or a specific thing, or maybe if you used to watch that show as a younger version of yourself or a child, remembering what was going on in your life at that time. And it might be individual to each of you, and you don't have to go watch that scene unless you're called to. But if you're called to go watch that scene, or maybe you've never even watched that movie or even heard of it, maybe just go watch that scene and just see if there's anything intuitively you can pull from it to explain how we're changing this imbalance of masculine and feminine sides of the body and the pain we feel and all the things we've just been talking about. Oh, you wish that when you were younger. Oh, I've wished that so many times, like during, like when I was in wrestling, I'm like, I wish I could have like the upper body strength of a guy. I wish I could be a guy. And then I used to play the jokes or say the joke and other people would say the joke to me like, you're a man, duh, about my name, Amanda. I was like, yeah, I've never heard that one before. Yeah, so crazy. But anyway, I probably should go have some lunch and let my pups out to run. It's nice and sunny out there. Still a lot of clouds, but they don't look too stormy. We got some blue sky out there, so let's see if any of the snow has melted. We got some green grass under the trampoline. Oh, you can actually see the mountains in the distance this time. Oh, there's a big glare on my screen. I can't see what we can see on here. But yeah, there's I'm pretty sure this is going to melt probably by the time baseball is. But again, with it being so wet out there, the fields just won't be good playing conditions. So they might be canceling it tonight. I was all sad too this morning because I'm like, I want to finish cleaning out my like flower beds in my like potting area, potted plants. Still have dead plants from last year in them because winter just kind of snuck up on us last year, or we had such a late summer kind of like warm fall that I'm like, oh, I got time. And then we had snow on the ground by Halloween. I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have time. And there was enough snow that it got cold real fast into November, and NaNoWriMo was going on. So of course I wasn't going to take any of my free time to do anything except write. And I wrote most of book 2 during NaNoWriMo. So I guess the time wasn't wasted. But now that it's spring and we got all the weather going on, I want to get it all out, all the old out with the old, in with the new, so I can plant all my new seeds. And yeah, well, it's cloudy where you're at. Yeah, weather is interesting. They like to say in Montana you can experience 4 seasons in 5 minutes. I don't know if it's quite that extreme, but yeah, Banana Ass, we were talking about this because she's near me. I won't say where, or even if she's in the same state, but I know she's within the vicinity. Not trying to dox her by any means, but yeah, we were talking about how a while back how the weather just went. I think it was like I can't remember if it was an 80 or 90 degree difference in the course of a day. Oh, it's already melted where you are. Well, that's lucky. Ours will probably melt soon. I can already feel that the cold air coming in the window is warmer than it was even an hour ago. So, or however long ago it was when I opened the window. It's 2:09. So I should probably go. Oh, they returned yesterday. Returned as in back home or back to your home? Because I know they were talking about visiting some cousins or something. And I just realized I was going back because I had all these like, look at this. I had like a massive migraine pretty much from Friday afternoon all the way to like when I went to bed on Sunday. I woke up Monday feeling fine. But then what's today? Today's Wednesday. Okay, so yesterday I started getting a headache. Didn't develop into a migraine, thank goodness. But so I'm behind, as you can see. I did see that you had texted me, Amber, but I have not gotten to it yet. So I will be catching up on all of my weekend into all the way up to yesterday's backlog of just everything. Anyone else, it's like you have to check out because you're not feeling well or you're really busy or something, and then when you come back to your email or your phone, it's just like notification, and you're like, your eyes start crossing, and you're like, oh no, everybody's counting on me. I gotta get back to everybody. And then because you have to get back to everyone, you just procrastinate on it. Just me? Yeah, that's what I'm doing, but not for long. I'm gonna be facing these probably this afternoon. So expect a text back. Oh, back to India. That's good. I bet you feel freer and lighter and like, okay, back to life. Let's do it. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to go have some lunch, hang out with my dogs, and I guess check the pulse of my email to see if we're having baseball tonight. And if not, I'm taking a nice, relaxing self-care evening to do a salt bath and all the things that have completely slid down the priority list since baseball started. Oh, you have your market display this weekend, and I'm exhausted from their visit. Not sure how I will do it. I'm not ready. Oh, right. Yeah, well, I would say don't stress yourself out too much. Just take as much self-care as you need, or think of the thing that is the most potent form of self-care for you and do a nice little heavy dose of that to get you back on, get you back to good, back to going. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, after the market is over, you can relax next week. Just kind of take the week easy next week and really pamper yourself. Yes, I'll see Brandy Lynn on Zoom tomorrow for our writing session. I'm excited. I'm making headway. And so is she. Yeah, she's really killing it with all these episodes. We're in like episode 6 or something. That's so good. Nice work. All right, you guys. Well, we are going to go. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys Friday. And it'll be at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, and yeah, I'll be here, and all the fun things. So that is sleep, but they are exhausting as well these nights. Oh, yeah. It's really hard, especially if you've been like run down and just purely exhausted, to then allow yourself to sleep. It's like that exhaustion follows you into the dream state, and you just wake up again exhausted. So that's something that like those nights that I'm just like all peopled out, all sports balled out, all just, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, but I have to go to sleep. I will do like this clearing of my energy, and I just say all the exhaustion, all the wounds, all the trauma, all the just emails I got to get back to. I'm purifying all of that for now, and I'm resting my energy, and then I say I'm getting, how do I do it? I'm getting fulfilling and proper rest and relaxation as I sleep, restful sleep. And that helps. I don't know that it completely alleviates it, but I can definitely see a difference in the times I go to bed just absolutely so exhausted that I can't fall asleep. Between the times that I actually set those intentions and do those clearings, I see a much better outcome the next morning when I wake up than if I don't do that. So there's a hot tip for you. All right, you guys, much love. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Pearl Tarot Live. Till next time, bye. Total.